Hey, this is BlindFox, so welcome at my ration review. Please support the channel, please subscribe, and please go and donate on patreon.com. Hey, thanks Tracy for donating there. So we've got a 24-hour ration. This is RationTech, either the tactical or the standard. It depends where you read on their website. It's menu number 1. It was packed in 2023. It expires in 2025. The reason for Cerex or the RationTech's long expiration dates nowadays is they do not have the cheeses in their rations anymore. This is the gums. This is just normal gums, Mentos. I'm not going to review them because after I finish the video I still want to eat. So there's 5 of the gums, so you can spread it throughout the day. Nice way to clean your teeth. The previous tactical or standard ration we did was menu number 3, and that had super seeds in it. We've got 2 coffee satchels because it's a real mild, nutty tasting coffee, which is a bit mild for me, so I dump 2 of them normally in 1 cup. We've got standard sorghum, which is the same porridge we had in the previous menu 3. I don't know, hope not all of the menus will have them in. We've got a mystery isotonic drink, which I'm not sure what flavor it is because I couldn't find the flavor. It just says isotonic drink on it with nowhere to have a flavor. This is 50 grams and it makes half a liter. Although it is quite a strong half a liter, which is a good thing if you've got brackish water. It will disguise the taste, but I tend to add a bit more water to it, just to thin down the taste a bit normally. We've got our peanut butter, which I have needed because there was really it was quite separated from the oil and the peanut part. You can stay still parts of peanut that's not really mixed in. This of course makes the peanut butter very runny, but if you don't mix it in, you just have oil and hard peanut butter to work with. I've added the peanut butter to breakfast because there's not really any place I see to use the peanut butter with, except if it's with the cookies. So before some use, I'm forced to add the cookies to breakfast too. Then, not really a breakfast item, the fruit cubes. You will most likely lunch on this while you walk, and you will of course use one of these little bags, or can use one of these bags that I put the gums in to add your extra fruit cubes, or you can fold the bag over and use the bag as a tie, which I did in a previous video, I think with the raisins I showed. Anyway, there's about 60 I think grams of this. I'm not really sure where the grams stand, but normally in the past that is what they weighed. Anyway, it's quite a nice stash of fruit cubes around there, so you get around a good handful of them. And of course we've got our spork, and this will be breakfast. So this takes around just under, I think, under or around a cup of water to mix. Hot water, as I said, half a liter of cold water and a cup of hot water again. So I'll go and mix this. The spork isn't really useful mixing this because you really need a fork to mix this sorghum, and especially if you've got the maize porridge, you really need a fork for that as well. So we'll go and get mixing. After, well, we've got a power failure there, or not a power, sorry, it's not a power failure again, we call it load shedding, or it's not rolling blackouts, because a blackout, you don't know what the problem is according to our government. But load shedding, you know what the problem is. It's just we don't have power because our power company can't generate enough and people keep stealing the cables. And never mind the cables, people just break the machines to get work for their companies and steal stuff. And anyway, this is load shedding while I'm filming this. If you're a South African, you know what I mean. Otherwise, you call it rolling blackouts. Of course, we know what the problem is. It's not an unidentified problem. That, according to One of our ministers is a blackout, but anyway, it's a blackout. So here we go, we've got coffee. Normal coffee, not extraordinarily strong. I used both of the sachets, you can only use one. The peanut butter, which I sort of mixed. And you can see there, quite runny with some solid pieces still in there, since you struggle to actually mix it. Tastes like peanut butter. The cookie, let me just take some coffee just to get the peanut butter taste out of my mouth. We'll go to the cookie. This is the oat cookie, or the crunchy oat cookie. Crunchy, a bit oaty, not too sweet. We'll take some with the peanut butter. It will go good with the coffee as well. It's not overwhelmingly taste, sort of a nice, slight roasted oat taste. The peanut butter does overwhelm the cookie somewhat. I'm still not really sure where to use the peanut butter. The only thing is on the cookie. But this is really overwhelming for the oat cookie, but it's still a vehicle to use it for. It lacks the bread taste of the wheat crackers, but it's still fine. This, it's a bit, when I mixed it with 500 ml, it was a bit greener. But this is, I mixed a bit more in it because it was a bit strong for me. This looks like grape. And it got sort of a grapey taste. It's not pineapple. And it's not any of the other cold drinks I had. This looks much like the grape we had in the menu 1 of this tactical or standard ration. It did taste quite grapey when I had 500 ml in it. Of course, adding more water just thins it down a bit. There is occasional green and a bit more orangey things. There's also a bit more whitish things in here, but they are really scattered far and between. I just saw 2 in the packet, so I tasted them. This is the tropical one again. This may or may not, I think, be papaya, or I think rather papaya than or pawpaw, sorry, than a mango. The white ones, more pineapple. Or it might even be, I don't know, this might be pineapple and the other one's banana. I'm not really sure what flavor this is, but I think maybe the white ones might be more pineapple-y. But it's all astringent fruit. The green one definitely something like a kiwi, because it's very planty tasting. And I don't think it's supposed to be cucumber. Now we get to our sorghum, which I've given enough time to thicken nicely. And again, I mixed this vigorously with a fork. I used almost a cup of water, not quite. I overfilled my coffee cup a bit because I had to boil the water on gas in a pot. Yeah, since no power. Anyway, here we go. After all the other tastes, the sorghum almost tastes bland. But it's the sorghum taste, it's what I like it. It's got a slight grain taste, it's not sort of overwhelming like maize or in your face. You know, that, I don't know, I don't like the taste. This is a bit more just neutral grainy to me. Didn't add any creamer here because it's the original one. I don't feel like hiding the taste with creamer. I think creamer you will just taste the creamer in sorghum. I also didn't add sugar because I don't like sugar in my porridges anyway, and again it will be too sweet and it will mask the taste some. So that was the breakfast. Although these fruit cubes you can eat in the morning, I would say. The peanut butter, again, I'm not sure if you will eat it while walking, what you will do with it, because it's a battle to mix. I don't know if you put it in the sun a bit, let it melt more, if it will mix better, I don't know. But really difficult to get the oily bit and the harder bit to mix properly. But it tastes nice, it's peanut butter. I would much rather, of course, like loose peanuts, but hey, this is what you get. The cookie goes fine with the peanut butter, although the peanut butter overwhelms the cookie. Cookie has got a oaty taste, not as I think as Anzac cookie as it could be, or not as the normal crunchy we get here in South Africa. It's not that buttery and toasty, I think. I don't know what's not in there. But it's still a little crunchy cookie. On its own, it's fine. Eat it with the peanut butter, it gets overwhelming. The cookie goes fine with the coffee and fine with the drink. Funny grape drink. This is an interesting flavor. It's a bit more greener when it's actually mixed with 500 ml, and it's a bit more grapey. Gets a bit watered down if you mix it with more, but 500 ml was just too strong for me. And it stretches your water intake a bit. Coffee, nice as always, but you need to use 2 satchels. And the coffee, of course, is a good thing to drink between your peanut butter, or else your peanut butter will totally overwhelm the sorghum. As I said before, sorghum is an indigenous African grain. I'm not sure if they've got hybrids already today, maybe, I don't know, but it's an interesting taste. It doesn't taste like wheat, it doesn't taste like maize, although it's more to the wheat taste. I'm not sure how other barley porridges would taste. I've only had kashas and stuff with that sort of whole grain stuff. I've never had other porridges, but an interesting grain tasting porridge. So that was our review, and it was the breakfast portion of the RationTech 2023, the tactical or standard ration 24-hour pack day 1. So interesting thing, of course, the cookies you also don't have to finish with breakfast, but you can't reseal the bag, which is a shame. But you can fold them over and then tie them with the other plastic bags, since the cookies are not gonna fit into that little small plastic bags. You can use the smaller plastic bags as a tie. And your fruit cubes you can always eat in the morning as well, and of course your isotonic drink you can drink throughout the morning, leaving your peanut butter and a cookie with your porridge for breakfast. You don't get a means to boil water for breakfast. Yeah. So I don't know how you will boil water since you only have 2 ration heaters. And that was our breakfast. So thanks for watching. Please support the channel. Please subscribe. Please go and donate on patreon.com, and see you at my next ration review.